The man who abandoned me when I was 8 showed up at my job last Tuesday. I didn't recognize him at first. I almost walked right past him. He was just standing there by the entrance, kind of swaying a little, like he wasn't sure if he was allowed inside. People were walking around him like he was invisible, which, honestly, felt about right. Then he said, "Hey," and I knew. It wasn't his face, it was his voice. Rough, like gravel and cigarettes. It hit me in the stomach before my brain even caught up. I stopped walking. "Hey, kid." Kid? I hadn't heard that word in years. Not like that. My co-worker Jenna bumped into my arm. "You okay?" she asked, looking at him, then back at me. I didn't answer her. He smiled. Not a normal smile, more like he was relieved he found me. Like this was some kind of reunion. "Wow," he said, looking me up and down. "Look at you." I felt my face go hot. People were definitely watching now. "What are you doing here?" I asked. Straight to it. No, "Hi." No, "How have you been?" I didn't have it in me. He scratched his chin, eyes darting around like he was taking the place in. "Nice spot," he said. "You work here?" I just stared at him. He exhaled through his nose. "Yeah, okay. Dumb question." There was this awkward pause, the kind that stretches just a little too long. Then he stepped closer. I stepped back. That seemed to register. "Hey, relax," he said quickly. I just wanted to talk." "About what?" He opened his mouth, then closed it again. For a second he looked almost embarrassed. Almost. "Can we not do this out here?" he said, lowering his voice. "Just 5 minutes." "No," I said. Too fast, too sharp. Jenna was still there. I could feel her looking at me, trying to figure out what was going on. He noticed her too. "Friend of yours?" he asked. "Co-worker," I said. "And I'm working, so you need to leave." He nodded slowly, like he was processing that. "Okay," he said. "Yeah, I get it." But he didn't move. I felt that old feeling creeping in, the one I used to get as a kid when he'd go quiet like this, like something unpredictable was about to happen. "You said 5 minutes," he added. "That's all I'm asking." I shook my head. "You can't just show up like this." "Why not?" he said. Not aggressive, not loud, just confused. That somehow made it worse. "Because you don't get to," I said. Another pause. He looked at me for a long second. Really looked this time. Then he nodded again. "All right," he said quietly. "I'll wait." And I don't know why, but the way he said that made my chest tighten. Because it didn't sound like he meant 5 minutes. It sounded like he wasn't planning to go anywhere. I didn't go back to work right away after that. I just stood there for a second, pretending to check something on my phone, hoping he'd, I don't know, leave, disappear, do what he used to do best. He didn't. Jenna leaned closer. "Who is that?" she whispered. I swallowed. "My dad." She blinked. "Oh. Not, oh, that's nice. Just, oh." "Yeah," I added. "Haven't seen him in a while." That was the cleanest lie I could come up with on the spot. Jenna glanced back at him. He was still by the door, hands in his pockets, rocking slightly on his heels like he had nowhere else to be. "He looks," she started, then stopped. "Yeah," I said. I know. I walked back inside, forcing myself not to look over my shoulder. For the next hour, I couldn't focus on anything. Emails blurred together. I reread the same sentence like 5 times and still couldn't tell you what it said. Every time the door opened, my stomach tightened. At some point, Jenna came over with 2 coffees and set one next to me. "He's still out there," she said quietly. Of course he was. I nodded, but didn't say anything. She hesitated. "Do you want me to tell security or something?" I almost said yes, but something stopped me. "No," I said. "It's fine." It wasn't fine. Around lunchtime, I finally cracked. "I'll be back," I muttered, already grabbing my jacket. Jenna gave me a look like she wanted to argue, but didn't. The moment I stepped outside, I saw him. Same spot, like he hadn't moved at all. He looked up immediately, like he'd been waiting for that exact moment. "Took you long enough," he said, half smiling. I crossed my arms. "You need to stop doing this." "Doing what?" "Showing up. Here." He shrugged. "I didn't know where else to go." That answer hit weird. Not because I believed it, but because part of me did. "You could have called," I said. He let out a short laugh. "You think I got your number?" Fair. There was a pause. Cars passing, someone laughing in the distance. Normal life happening like this wasn't completely insane. "What do you want?" I asked. Straight. No room for anything else. He looked down for a second, then back at me. "Just some help," he said. There it was again. Always help. With what? He rubbed his hands together like he was cold. It wasn't cold. "I'm in a bit of a situation," he said. "Nothing crazy, just behind on some stuff." "Like what?" "Bills, rent, you know how it is." No, I didn't. Not like he did. I stared at him, trying to find something, anything, that looked different from the man I remembered. I couldn't. Same restless eyes, same way of talking around things instead of saying them. "You haven't changed," I said before I could stop myself. That landed. He stiffened a little. "People change." "Do they?" Another pause, this one heavier. He looked at me, and for a second, I thought he might actually say something real. Instead, he said, "I just need a little money. That's it." I let out a breath I didn't realize I was holding. Of course. "How much?" I asked. And the way his face shifted when I said that, I immediately knew this wasn't going to be simple. He didn't answer right away. That should have been my first clue. Instead, he looked almost relieved, like I'd just confirmed something for him. "Not that much," he said quickly. Too quickly. "Just enough to get back on track." "That's not a number." He scratched the side of his face, avoiding my eyes. "Couple thousand." I let out a short, dry laugh. "A couple thousand?" "It's not... Look, it sounds worse than it is. It literally sounds exactly like what it is." He shifted his weight again, glancing past me like he was checking if anyone was listening. "I wouldn't ask if I didn't have to," he said. I felt something snap a little inside me. "You always say that," I replied. That got his attention. "What's that supposed to mean?" "It means you always have to. There's always something. Rent, bills, problems. It's always something." He frowned. "You don't know what I've been dealing with." You're right, I said. I don't. Because you disappeared. That word hung there between us. He looked away first. Yeah, he muttered. I figured you'd bring that up. I crossed my arms tighter. You sent me away. It wasn't like that. It was exactly like that. His jaw tightened. For a second, I thought he might argue harder. Instead, he just sighed. You were better off, he said. That caught me off guard. What? You were better off, he repeated, quieter now. You think I didn't know that? I stared at him. This wasn't how I expected this conversation to go. You didn't even visit, I said. I couldn't. You didn't try. You don't know that. His voice cracked a little on that last word, and it threw me off just enough to hesitate. Just enough. He noticed. I messed up, he said, softer now. Okay? I know that. I'm not saying I didn't. But you turned out good, didn't you? That sentence made my stomach twist. Like my life was some kind of outcome he could point at. Like it justified anything. So what? I said slowly. This is you coming back to collect something? No, he said quickly. That's not... Because that's what it feels like. He ran a hand through his hair, frustrated now. I just need help, that's it. You got a good job, right? I can see that. There it was again. Not me, not who I am, just what I have. I shook my head. I can't do this. Come on, he said, stepping closer. I'm not asking for forever, just this once. I took a step back immediately. Don't. That came out sharper than I expected. He stopped. We just stood there for a second, both breathing a little heavier now. I'll think about it, I said finally. That's all I can say right now. His shoulders dropped slightly, like that was enough to keep him going. Okay, he said. Yeah. Think about it. I nodded once, then turned and walked back inside. I didn't look back this time, but I could feel it. That same feeling from earlier. Like this wasn't over. Not even close. I didn't sleep that night. Every time I closed my eyes, I kept seeing him standing there. Same jacket, same voice, like nothing had changed. Like I was still 8 and stuck in that apartment, waiting to see if he'd come home drunk or not at all. Around 2 a.m, I got up and went to the kitchen. The apartment was quiet, clean, normal. My normal. I stared at the fridge for a while before I even opened it. That's when my phone buzzed. Unknown number. I froze. For a second, I thought about ignoring it. I should have. Instead, I answered. Hello? Silence. Then breathing. Hey. Of course. How did you get this number? I asked. I asked around. That didn't make me feel better. You shouldn't have done that. I just wanted to check if you got home okay. I almost laughed. You've never cared about that before. He didn't respond right away. People change, he said again. I rubbed my face. You already used that line. Yeah, well, it's still true. Another pause. I leaned against the counter, suddenly exhausted. You can't keep doing this, I said. Showing up, calling, this isn't okay. I just need a little time, he replied. That's all. For what? To fix things. With my money. That shut him up for a second. I'll pay you back, he said. I didn't even react. I just stood there in silence. You don't believe me, he added. No, I said. At least that part was honest. He exhaled slowly. Look, can I see you tomorrow? No. Too fast again. Why not? Because this is already too much. Another long pause. Then his voice dropped a little. Not louder, just heavier. I know where you work, he said. My grip on the phone tightened. That's not a threat, he added quickly. I'm just saying, I'll be around anyway. There it was. Not a threat, but not a threat either. You can't just... I'll wait, he said again. Same words, same tone. My chest tightened like before. Stop saying that, I snapped. Why? Because it's weird. He let out a short, quiet laugh. I've always waited, you know. For what? For things to get better. I didn't even know what to say to that. Go to sleep, he said after a moment. You sound tired. I pulled the phone away from my ear and just stared at it. Then I hung up. Didn't say goodbye. Didn't say anything. Just ended it. I stood there for a while after that, listening to the silence in my apartment. Everything looked the same. Nothing felt the same. And the worst part? A small, stupid part of me kept replaying something he said earlier. You were better off. I hated that sentence. Because I didn't know if it was an excuse or the only true thing he's ever said. He was there again the next morning. Of course he was. Same spot, same jacket, like he'd just resumed from where we left off. Jenna saw him before I did. He's back, she said quietly, not even trying to hide it this time. I closed my eyes for a second, just one. Yeah, I muttered. I figured. Do you want me to call someone? I shook my head. Not yet. That yet sat between us. I grabbed my coffee, even though I didn't really want it, and walked toward the entrance. He straightened up the moment he saw me. Morning, he said, like this was normal, like we did this every day. What are you doing? I asked. You said you'd think about it. That doesn't mean show up again. He shrugged. Didn't know how else to follow up. Not like this. He glanced past me into the office, eyes lingering a little too long. Nice place, he said again. You must be doing really well. I didn't respond to that. You need to leave, I said. I will, he replied. After we talk. We already talked. Not really. I let out a slow breath. I said I'd think about it. That's it. And? He asked. And I'm still thinking. He stared at me, trying to read something in my face. Then he leaned in slightly. Not aggressive, just too close. I'm running out of time, he said quietly. For what? He hesitated, just a second. Stuff, he said. It's complicated. Then explain it. I don't need to explain everything, he snapped, a little too fast. There it was, that shift, same as before. I stepped back immediately. Then I don't need to help you. That hit. His jaw tightened. I'm not asking for a favor like this for no reason. And I'm not giving money to someone who won't even be honest with me. We just stood there, tension thick enough that even people walking by started noticing. Hey, Jenna called from behind me. Everything okay? I didn't turn around. Yeah, give me a minute, It wasn't okay. He lowered his voice again. You really gonna do this here? You're the one who came here? Another pause. Then he said it. You owe me. It wasn't loud, but it landed hard. I actually laughed. Short, sharp, not even a little amused. I owe you, I repeated. For raising you, he said. For everything before... Before what? I cut in. Before you got tired and dropped me off somewhere? His face changed immediately, like he regretted saying it, but not enough to take it back. I didn't drop you off, he said. That's exactly what you did. You think I had a choice? You always had a choice. Silence. Real silence this time. Even he didn't have a quick answer for that. I took a step back toward the door. This is over, I said. Don't come back here. His eyes narrowed slightly. You serious? Yes. He looked at me for a long second, then he nodded. Okay, he said. But the way he said it didn't feel like the end. It felt like he was just changing tactics. He showed up again the next morning. Same place. Like nothing had happened. Like the police hadn't just told him to stay away. I saw him through the glass before I even walked in, and I just stopped. Something in me felt tired. Not scared, not angry, just done. Jenna looked at me. He's back again. Yeah, I said. You calling the police? I shook my head. No, not this time. I walked outside before I could change my mind. He straightened up when he saw me, like he'd been waiting for this exact moment. I figured you'd come out, he said. Yeah, I replied. You always do. There was a pause, different from before, quieter. I'm not doing this again, I said. No more showing up, no more calls. This ends today. He watched me carefully. So, you thought about it? I did. And? I took a breath, and for a second, everything got weirdly clear. Not emotional, not dramatic, just simple. I'm going to help you, I said. His whole face changed. Relief instant. I knew you would. Don't, I cut him off. That stopped him. This is not because you deserve it, I said, and it's not because you asked. He frowned slightly, trying to follow. I'm doing this because if you hadn't sent me away, I paused, choosing the words. My life would have been very different. He didn't say anything. I don't forgive you, I added. That's not what this is. The relief on his face didn't fully disappear, but it shifted, less confident now. So what is it? He asked. It's the last thing I'll ever do for you. Silence. Real silence. Then slowly, okay. I'll give you money, I said. Enough to get you out of whatever mess you're in. His eyes lit up again. Thank you, one condition. He stopped. What? You disappear. He blinked. What? You don't call me? You don't come near me? You don't ask about me. Ever. His expression changed again. Confusion now. Maybe even a little hurt. I'm your father. No, I said calmly. You were. That one landed. Hard. I'm serious, I continued. If I ever see you again, anywhere, I call the police. And next time, I won't hesitate. He looked at me, searching for something. I don't know what. maybe hesitation. He didn't find it. "How much?" he asked quietly. I hesitated for the first time. Then I said it. 3,000. He nodded immediately, too fast. "Okay, yeah, yeah." Of course it was. We didn't talk much after that. I transferred the money later that day. No hug, no goodbye, just a transaction. He sent one message after. "Got it." That's all. No thank you, no apology, nothing. It's been a month. He hasn't shown up again. No calls, no messages, nothing. And sometimes I catch myself thinking about what he said. "You were better off." I still don't know if he said that to justify what he did, or if it's the only honest thing he's ever told me. Either way, that was the last thing I gave him.
If you like this story, you'll find more like it on my channel.